I've put together this specific video for anybody who's looking to buy real estate in Medellin. This video is not for anyone who's still thinking, why should I buy in Medellin? This is for someone who's definitely decided they want to buy here, whether it be for living or whether it be for investment, and you just want to get the real hard facts about how it's done here and a little few secrets that I'm going to share with you along the way as well that I guarantee you haven't heard in any video nor have you read in any blog anywhere online. This is information that I have learned personally from selling real estate here in Medellin over the last year through my business Medellin Living. We specifically only work with people who are ready to buy in the next 30 days, right? That's why we make all this type of content, because it's for the education purposes. Once you're educated, come to us and we'll help you. So if you don't need to see any more of the video, if you're already ready to buy in 30 days, click the link in the description of this video, fill out the form, and I will actually personally reach out to you and we'll talk about the next steps to get you started. But if you're not at that stage yet, let's dive into the video, and now it's time to get educated. I'm going to be telling you about the whole process of buying here in Medellin and things you need to look out for, because the process and the way things are done here are very different from wherever you're from, whether that may be the US, Australia, Canada, whatever. It's very different here, and some things are not going to make sense to you guys. And trust me, I know, because I get very many weird questions daily. And you know how they say there's no such thing as a stupid question? Well, some people ask me very stupid questions. I'm going to address some of these questions here in this video today. And by the end of it, you can expect to have a very in-depth understanding of how real estate works in Medellin. So you'll be happy and you'll be confident to move forward with your purchase. Question number one. Stupidest question that I always get from people. Every day I get people asking me on our Instagram account, medellin.living, if you're not following already. They ask me, hey, I want to buy this property of like 300K in Medellin. Can I get financing? And I'm like, from where? And they're like, a Colombian bank. And I'm thinking logically, how is a Colombian bank going to dish out 300 grand to an American who's never even been to Colombia? So guys, first things first, no loans available, okay? So if you don't have money, get some money. There's different ways about getting money if you don't have money, which I'm going to explain in a second, a few little tricks. One of them I actually done myself to buy my apartment that I bought a couple of weeks ago here in Poblado. But before we get into that, let's make it completely clear. There are no loans for foreigners in Medellin, except for those foreigners who've been living here many years. You might have got your residency, credit cards, and you've paid off different loans and you've built up local credit. So there's ways to do this, but if you are not in Colombia yet, this is going to take you years to build. So maybe 2, 3, 4 years, who knows? So it's not really a practical option and not many people do it. For all the apartments we sold, I've never sold one with a loan to a foreigner. So that was the first one. The first one was build up the local credit is the way that you can buy something without cash. The second one is actually if you're married to a Colombian citizen. So if you're married to a Colombian citizen, or if you are a Colombian citizen, or there might be certain instances where if your parents are Colombian citizens too, then you can get a loan from Bancolombia. I am not a loan broker. So guys, jump on the Bancolombia website, Google it, contact them and ask them if you can get a loan. Each case is different. Some people might be able to get it. Some people might not be able to get it, but this is what it says on their website. If you are a Colombian citizen living abroad, if you're married to a Colombian, or if your parents are Colombians, you could be eligible for a loan. The caveat of this is that the loan rate in Colombia, the interest rate is crazy. Where I'm from, I just got a loan in Australia, 5.5%, pretty nice. In Colombia, it's 10%. For a lot of people who want to buy in as an investment and not live there, it doesn't make sense to take the loan because you're actually losing money every month in interest. Depending on what you want, this might be good, but as I said, contact Bancolombia to find out more details. The third creative way to get money, if you don't have it already, is through a HELOC or a home equity line of credit. If you own a home in another country, what you can do is put up that home as collateral in your home country. I'm going to use my example. It's more easier to tell you. I have a home in Australia, an apartment. That apartment has a mortgage attached to it. That mortgage is almost paid off. There's a lot of equity in that. So I can actually redraw at the current interest rate with the equity that I have in this home. So that's what I did. I drew like 250 grand at 5.65%, and the bank gives me that money in cash money in my account. And I can take that cash money and I can do whatever I want with it, because if I don't pay the payments, then they take my house. I got that cash money in my account. Then I bought an apartment in Colombia. You guys can do that as well, depending on how much equity you have in your home country. Just go to the bank that you have the mortgage with and ask them about that. Yeah, this is actually a really nice way if you don't have all the cash up front, and actually one of the ways that many of our buyers free up cash to make a purchase in Colombia. So that's the first section done, guys. Okay, so make sure you have money, or make sure you've thought about how you're going to get the money together. You've reached out to Bancolombia, or you've reached out to your bank back in your home country who you have a mortgage with, and figured out, okay, I have the money, now I just need to find the property. So do that first. Don't waste anyone's time with coming and viewing properties and stuff and then be like, oh, I don't have money, because nobody likes a time waster. So the next big step, guys, and this is what we make all our clients do before we even send them a list of properties or even move forward with helping them further, is opening a brokerage account. I'm going to try and explain this in the most simplest term possible. It has to be a Colombian brokerage account, and we recommend the biggest broker in Colombia called Alianza, right? Many people tell me, oh, who am I sending money to? This is a scam. They're going to steal all my money. Guys, don't believe what I tell you, okay? If you're that, paranoid, Google Alianza, read some blogs, and figure out who this company is. What they do for you is they have an account in the United States, headquarters at Wall Street. So you need to send money from your account to their account in Wall Street. They hold that money for you. And then when you're ready to transfer the money into Colombian pesos, because you need to make the purchase in Colombian pesos here because we're in Colombia, what they will do is they will do all the paperwork to legalize the funds. A lot of people ask me, can I just bring it to my Colombian bank account and buy the property? Theoretically, yes, but you may have a lot of issues with, one, the bank freezing your account. So for example, if you have the first date of your payment contractually obliged for 2 weeks now, and you just decide to bring the money into Bancolombia sees a huge amount and they can freeze it. And then you need to give more details. And you know how slow the banks are in your country. Multiply that by 100 because we're in Colombia. You could have your money frozen for months. In the contract, it says if you miss the payment date, you got to pay damages to the seller of 10%, 20%. So that can be one problem. Problem number two, we have no control about how the banks file this money that comes into the country. Every time money comes into the country, it needs to be filed in a certain way. Each of these filings have different numbers. Filing it as savings, or filing it as income, or filing it as foreign investment for real estate purchase, they're all different filings, and they affect the way that these things are taxed, and these things are seen by the IRS of Colombia, called the DIAN, okay? So you can't just willy-nilly transfer whatever you want and hope for the best. You need to do it the right way. And the best way to do this, as advised by our lawyer, you can ask your own lawyer as well, is to transfer the money into this brokerage account, because this brokerage account does this every single day. Alianza will fill out all the correct paperwork, and they will transfer the money from USD to Colombian pesos in your brokerage account, so that then you have it ready to safely pay your seller. I'm going to talk about the fees on this in just a little second, but next question is, how do we open this brokerage account? So if you want to work with us, just reach out, right? The form is in the description, as I said already. We can send you our contact at Alianza. He's a really good guy and he speaks perfect English. He's going to ask you a list of questions. These list of questions are like, what is your monthly income? What's your expenses? What's your assets? All these questions you need to provide responses for, right? Just so they can make sure that your money is legitimate and that the amount of money that you're bringing into the country corresponds with the answers that you're given. In addition to these questions, you need to provide some documentation. The main documentation is a form of ID, being your passport, and the next documentation is your most recent tax return. So they can see that, all the money is legit and above board. Super, super easy. It's not hard at all. It takes maybe 2 days maximum to open. And for you to actually provide the information, if you have it ready, probably take you less than 30 minutes. This is the first thing that we require from all our buyers, because if you don't open this, you're not a serious buyer. You're just wasting time. This is also a great negotiating tool, because if you go to view property viewing and you're talking to the seller, you can use this as a negotiation, because they might have 1, 2, 3 offers on the table already. But the other people might be locals, Colombians, and they're going to say, okay, this is the offer. But once they have the offer, they have to go to the bank, talk to the bank about getting the approval. The bank has to do all the due diligence and stuff on the property. And this can drag out. And at the end of all this, the bank could say, no, we're not giving you the loan. So the seller's wasted a lot of time, has taken the property off the market maybe, has lost out on other potential buyers. Sellers don't like loans, but what they do like is someone who says, okay, I have cash ready, I have the brokerage account ready, the money is in the brokerage account, or I can transfer the money to the brokerage account within a couple of days. Let's go. So that's a really, really good bargaining tip. So the first step that you need to do is open the brokerage account. Next, let's talk about the fees associated with this brokerage account. You don't have to go through Alianza. There's a couple others like Acciones y Valores, but I've found recently, because I did all these figures, right? I'm a numbers guy. I'm not giving anybody money without doing all the figures and making sure I'm not giving more money than I need to. Recently, I was tossing up between Alianza and Acciones y Valores. They're both reputable companies. I did all the numbers and I found out that Alianza was the better company because they gave better exchange rates. I'm going to explain why now. Both companies will charge you 0.6% of the total transaction. $100,000 if you bring into the country, 0.6% of that, which is $600, right? Both companies are going to charge you this regardless because this is their fee. The next thing you need to pay is a 0.4% government fee. This is called cuatro por mil and it exists in Colombia. Any transaction that you make, you need to pay 0.4%. So automatically you have 1% of your money gone from just bringing it into the country. The next thing that you need to consider is currency spread. So you guys who understand foreign transactions, foreign exchange, finance are going to understand this term. Currency spread is another way that brokerage accounts make money. Let's put some numbers on this to make it a bit more easy, okay? Let's say the actual exchange rate of today is $1 is 4,000 Colombian pesos. So that's the actual perfect exchange rate, right? But they will give you an exchange rate a little bit lower. So they'll give you like 39.60 or 39.70. So that 40 or 30 peso difference, they'll make more money on that, right? So everybody does this, but the spread on different companies is more. I found through my calculations and my research that Alianza charges a spread of 0.4%. They charge 0.4% on the spread and they made that money off that little bit extra, which is pretty good actually, because I did the same calculations with Acciones y Valores, the other brokerage account, which is very renowned here in Colombia, and they charge 2%. So basically they were going to take 2% of my money from just pressing some buttons. Another thing to consider as well is that Alianza only accepts USD and euros. So my currency was in Australian dollars. I thought, hey, maybe it's better to send to Acciones y Valores because they can take a lot more other currencies. They have a partnership with Western Union, so they can do the exchange that way. But even though I could transfer Aussie dollars straight to Aussie dollars to Acciones y Valores, their cost was much higher than me doing Wise from Australian dollars converting to USD to hit Alianza's account, then Alianza converting again from USD to Colombian pesos. They were just much, much cheaper. I do not get paid from Alianza. I wish I got paid. I asked them many times. They said no commission for you. So I'm just giving you the pure answers so you can save more money because, you know, I'm a nice guy. But anyway, if you don't believe me, do your own research. And there's a little bit of one of those little secret hints that I told you that no one else has ever told you before. So I hope at least that is worth you watching this video, because now, you know, if you spent the spread of 0.4 to 2%, you could have saved a couple of grand already. So guys, that is the brokerage account. Okay, so that's the first step that any serious buyer must have open and must do to purchase property in Colombia. You got cash ready to go. Next one is brokerage account set up, done. Okay, if you talk to me on WhatsApp, I'm going to give you the contact for Juan. He's going to set you up with the brokerage account in about a couple of days. You're ready to buy property in Colombia. So the next thing that you want to do right now, you're ready to buy property, is you want to find properties, right? So how do we help you? This is what we're going to do. Once you're qualified, you'll have a Zoom call with me. We'll go through the whole process, answer any questions you have, because now you're a qualified buyer, you're ready to go. And then we speak to you to figure out what are your requirements. And once we have your requirements, we'll put together a list of options for you. This list is very in-depth. It's an Excel spreadsheet. It has all the options there. It has videos of the properties we have. It also has comps. So if you don't know, there's no widely accessible MLS here. In the US, you can just go to some MLS website and it can tell you what everything's been bought and sold from. So you know if you're getting a good deal, bad deal, you know exact price. But here in Colombia, you don't. So you need to do your own comps. You don't need to do them because we're going to do them for you. It'll have it in this whole spreadsheet, and there it's going to have price per square meter. So you're going to be able to understand, say for example, you wanted a remodeled apartment in Poblado. Then you're going to understand that, okay, I'm seeing all these figures. Now I know about 8.5 to 9 million per square meter. Colombian pesos is a good rate. If I see something 12, that's too expensive. That's a bad deal. Or if I see something 6, that's really cheap. Let's move on it. That's a great deal. That's underpriced. And then once you have the spreadsheet, all you need to do is mark the properties that you like. There's a section that says yes, no, yes, no. You mark that section for your notes as well. If you like the properties that we sent you, we will start scheduling viewings. If you didn't like them, we'll use your notes to understand better what you want, and we'll go out for a second or third round of searches. So next, what happens after you have done the viewings? Imagine that you found the greatest property that you've been dreaming about for 20 years, and now you're ready to buy it. What happens next? The first thing to do is figure out price. You will see the listing price and you'll make an offer. Maybe you're happy with the listing price because you see the price per square meter is fair, so you offer the listing price. Or maybe you want to offer something less. So that's when the negotiation begins, right? So you will send an offer. Usually you'll tell us and we'll send it to the seller via WhatsApp. It's an informal offer and it's made up of 3 elements. The first element is the price that you're offering. The second element is the date of the first payment and the figure of the first payment. And the third one is the date of closing and final payment. Once all this has been negotiated, you've done a bit of back and forth, you've agreed on date and you've agreed on price, then the offer has been accepted and it's time to get started on the paperwork. So we get our in-house lawyer to do this for all our clients. She will then take that offer and she'll begin the due diligence. She needs to check the title, needs to make sure there's no liens or mortgages or anything on the property. She needs to make sure it's free and clear and ready and safe for you to buy. Once she's done this, she'll give us a green light and say, all right, I'm ready to start preparing the documentation. Usually at this point, when you sign the documentation, you have to make the first payment. The first payment can be between 10 to 30%. For most of our clients, we recommend they just pay 10%. Most of our sellers are happy with that as well. Sometimes it goes up a bit further, but our lawyer has told us never pay the first payment more than 30%. So let's assume for these calculations that it's 10%. So 10% at the first payment, and this signing of the promesa, the promise to purchase document in English, I guess that's what it's called, but in Spanish it's called the promesa. So at the time of promesa, you sign, and you don't need to be in the country for this signing, right? You could have come, spent 2 weeks in Colombia, you like a property, you make an offer, signing is a week later, but you need to go back home. You can actually do the signing for the first part via DocuSign, virtually. You don't even have to be here. Then you'll transfer the money from your Alianza brokerage account. Usually in our contracts, we write that you have 5 working days after the signing of the contract to pay the money. And then the closing can be a few weeks later. And then at the closing, you'll pay the remainder of the amount. So usually it's going to be 90%. And in that, a lot of our clients like to actually be in Colombia because it's a nice experience buying a property. You go to the notary, you sign the paperwork, you take a great photo of me shaking your hand, you get the keys and the property is yours. If you're really, really busy, you don't have to be at closing either. You can actually sign over power of attorney to your lawyer. She or he can sign on your behalf. Now let's talk about closing costs. Closing costs are usually between 3 to 4% of the total value of the property. For round numbers, you're not going to find anything for $100,000 in Medellin, but let's talk about $100,000. $100,000 means you're going to pay between 3 and 4 grand of closing costs. And this includes the notary fees, government fees, brokerage fees as well that I explained before, and legal fees. What about commission? How do we get paid? Well, you don't have to worry about that. The commission is 3% and the seller always pays that. Hope you learned a lot from this video. If you have any other questions, make sure you leave it in the comments of the video. I'm happy to answer them here. That being said, guys, hope you learned something. Hope you had some fun as well. And if you want help, check the link in the description, fill it out, and I'll be in touch. Ciao.